I still remember the exact sound the paper made when my mom ripped my medical records in half. It wasn't loud, but it felt like something inside me tore at the same time. She stood there in the middle of our living room, shaking, her face red and wet with tears, screaming, "You're letting your sister die!" And for a moment, I just froze. I couldn't speak, couldn't move, couldn't even breathe properly. I kept thinking, how did we get here? How did things escalate to the point where my own mom was destroying private documents and calling me a murderer? And here's the question I still can't answer. And maybe you can help me. Was I wrong for refusing to save her? Would you have done what I did? To explain how everything spiraled out of control, I need to start from the beginning, long before that day. I'm the middle child in a family of 5, and for most of my life, I was the quiet one, the one nobody really worried about. My older sister Lila was the golden child, smart, charismatic, ambitious. Teachers adored her, my parents worshipped her, and honestly, I worshipped her too. She never did anything wrong in their eyes, even when she very clearly did. My younger brother, Micah, was the troublemaker, always getting into things he shouldn't, always needing help, and me, I was the easy one, the kid who didn't complain, who didn't ask for much, who didn't cause drama. I guess that's why every time there was a crisis, everyone assumed I would be the one to bend. And for most of my life I did. Things changed when Lila got sick. She was diagnosed with a rare autoimmune condition that slowly destroyed her kidneys. At first, doctors thought it was treatable, but things got worse quickly. Within 2 years, she was on dialysis. Every day felt like a countdown that none of us could stop. I'm not going to pretend she wasn't suffering. She was. I saw it in her face, in the way she winced when she moved, in how thin she became. I loved her. God, I loved her so much. And it broke me to see her like that. When doctors suggested a kidney transplant, my parents immediately turned to me. Not because I was the most compatible. None of us knew that yet, but because I was the healthy one, the strong one, the responsible one. The assumption was instant. I would fix things. I would save her. And when I found out I was a match, it felt like the air got sucked out of the world. My parents looked at me with this desperate hope I'd never seen before, as if I was their last chance. And maybe I was, but something inside me tightened. I didn't say no immediately, but I didn't say yes either. I needed time. I needed to think. Here's the part that nobody in my family seemed to consider. I have my own health issues. Nothing life-threatening, nothing dramatic, but enough that doctors warned me since I was a kid that certain things could affect me more than others. One of those things was losing an organ. My medical records spelled everything out clearly. I've had chronic kidney infections on and off since I was 11. My kidney function isn't bad, but it's not perfect. And the doctor explained that donating could push me over the edge later in life. I could end up like Lila. I could end up needing the same help she needed. And when I voiced that concern, well, it didn't go well. My mom accused me of exaggerating. My dad told me I was overthinking it. Lila didn't say anything, but the way she looked at me like she understood and didn't want to pressure me was the only thing that made me feel less like a monster. But my parents didn't see her silence as respect. They saw it as her suffering quietly while I hesitated. For weeks they pushed, guilt-tripped, begged. I woke up to sticky notes on my bedroom door that said things like, "Be a hero," or "Family saves family." My mom cried constantly. My dad became a shell of himself, cold, stern, always disappointed. I didn't tell them no. I just didn't tell them yes. I kept reading my medical notes, kept replaying the doctor's warnings in my head, kept imagining what would happen to me if something went wrong. After years of being the kid who bent until I broke, I didn't want to break this time. The final straw happened during a family meeting they forced me into. My dad sat across from me with printouts of survival rates, donor success stories, pictures of other families who chose love. My mom held Lila's hand, sobbing dramatically like a guilt-inducing movie scene. And then they asked again, "Will you do it?" When I said, "I'm not ready," my dad slammed his fist on the table so hard the dishes rattled. He shouted, "Your sister doesn't have time for you to be ready." Lila cried, not because of me, but because she didn't want to be the reason everyone was fighting. I walked out of the room and didn't come back for 2 hours. A week later, I woke up to my mom standing in my doorway, holding a folder, my medical folder. She must have gone through my room while I was sleeping. She must have known what she was looking for. She must have planned what she was going to do. She walked into the living room, and when I followed her, still half asleep and confused. She threw the folder on the coffee table, opened it, scanned the papers, and screamed, "This is your excuse? This? You think some stupid notes from some random doctor mean more than your sister's life?" And before I could say anything, she grabbed the pages and started ripping them apart. My test results, my scans, the warnings, everything. I tried to stop her, but she shoved me back and kept screaming, "You're letting her die. You're choosing yourself over your own blood." My dad came into the room and didn't even try to stop her. He just stared at me with this look of pure disappointment, like he didn't recognize me anymore. I felt like I was losing my mind. They weren't listening. They weren't trying to understand. They didn't care what happened to me as long as Lila survived, and that snapped something inside me. So that's the situation I was in. A mother destroying my private medical records, a father silently agreeing, and a sister caught in the middle while I was dragged into a decision that could ruin my life. Before I tell you what happened next, I want you to pause. Seriously, tell me in the comments, what would you have done if you were in my shoes? Would you have given in? Or would you have walked away like I did? Because yes, I walked away. Not just from the argument, but from the entire situation. After my mom tore everything apart, I grabbed my phone, my wallet, a backpack, and I left. My hands were shaking so hard I could barely lock the door behind me. I drove to my aunt's house across town. She's my dad's sister, and the only person in the family who doesn't act like emotions are weapons. When she opened the door and saw me crying, she didn't ask questions. She just hugged me and let me fall apart. When I explained what happened, and I mean everything, she looked horrified. She's the one who told me something I didn't even know. It's illegal for someone to destroy your medical documents, even if they're your parent, even if you live with them. She helped me call the hospital and have everything reprinted. Then she called my dad and ripped into him like I've never heard anyone do before. She told him he was failing as a father. She told him he was manipulating me. She said if he or my mom tried to contact me directly before I was ready, she'd file a report. For the next 2 months, I didn't go home. I stayed with my aunt, got therapy, real therapy, not my mom's version of pray and stop being selfish. And for the first time, someone told me it was okay to put myself first. It didn't make the guilt disappear, but it helped me understand that self-preservation isn't cruelty. During that time, Lila's condition got worse. My parents kept calling my aunt's phone, but she filtered everything. Eventually, Lila texted me, not to guilt trip me, but to tell me she loved me, that she never wanted me to donate if it meant risking my future, that she didn't blame me, not even a little. That message broke me harder than anything else. The climax came when the hospital finally found another donor, an anonymous one. A perfect match. The surgery happened 3 weeks later, and it was successful. Lila's doing better now. She's recovering slowly, but she's alive. She even asked to see me. When I visited her in the hospital, she hugged me so tight I could barely breathe. She apologized for our parents. She told me she wished she'd spoken up sooner. I cried the entire drive home. My parents, though, they still think I abandoned them. They still won't admit they were wrong. My mom cornered me at a family gathering and whispered, "You could have been her hero." I told her, "I chose to be my own." She didn't like that. My dad barely looks at me anymore, and honestly, I'm learning to accept that. Sometimes the people who raised you aren't capable of loving you in the way you need. Sometimes family is just a word. So here I am, months later, still wondering, was I wrong? Should I have given up a part of myself to save my sister? Or was I right to walk away from a family who didn't care about my safety? I don't know the answer. Maybe there isn't one. But if you were on my side, if you understand why I did what I did, then like this video. Subscribe for more stories like this. And please share your final thoughts in the comments section. I'll see you all in the next story.